Hi guys, welcome back to Jay's Kitchen. So today I'm going to be making a delicious yummy breakfast casserole. It has loads of stuff in it, like sausages, potatoes, egg, cheese, pepper. So it's a really delicious but heavy breakfast. So we're going to be having brunch, so I'm going to be making this yummy breakfast casserole. Let's see what are the ingredients we need to make this breakfast casserole. So these are the ingredients that I have. We have our sausage here. I'm using chicken sausages, and I've got some butter. We're going to be using some cheddar cheese, and then I have some one onion here. So I'm going to be using half of my red pepper and half of the yellow pepper. And I'm going to got 3 potatoes here, and of course I have my garnishing, which is pepper, garlic, onion, and cayenne pepper. Of course, we're going to be using salt too. So you can always use a Dutch oven, which goes straight into the oven after using it on a pan. But since I don't have a Dutch oven, I'm just going to use a non-stick pan, which I'm going to add onto a baking pan, and then we're going to put it into the oven. So let me prep the ingredients, and then we can start cooking. So I have my ingredients all prepared. So as for the cheddar cheese, I'm going to be using everything to cover the whole baking pan. And then for my sausages, I've diced it. So I'm using 3 sausages because the sausages that I have is pretty big, so it's 3. And then we're going to take a couple cubes of butter. It's not everything, just a couple cubes. And then I've got 5 potatoes. I've actually added extra 2 because I wanted the whole pan to be covered with a potato, so I've actually added extra 2 more because the potatoes are pretty small. So it depends on what pan you're using and how much of potatoes you want to put in. Of course, the main ingredient, which I forgot to mention earlier, was my eggs. So since I'm making for 2, I'm actually adding in 5 eggs. And I've diced half of my yellow pepper and half of the red pepper. And then of course I have my 1 onion and my seasoning: garlic, onion, black pepper, cayenne pepper, and also salt. So let's start cooking first before we put it into the pan. So I have my non-stick pan that's heating on the stove. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour a little bit of oil. If you're using bacon, you can even add in bacon and scrambled or minced sausages. So when you're using bacon, you don't need to add in the oil, because bacon already has its fat, and you can just use that, and you can make the others. But since I'm not using bacon, I'm just going to add in a little bit of oil. So this is where I'm going to be adding in the sausages. So I'm going to first add in my sausages. I'm going to cook this sausage till it turns brown. Probably give it a couple minutes. If you need to add in a little bit extra oil, it should be fine. Just add in a little bit extra oil. So as you can see, it's actually turning a little bit brownish in color. So at this point, I want to add in the onions. So we're going to add in the onions. Okay, got all the onions in together. So mix the onions till it turns really soft and translucent. Give it another 2 to 3 minutes. Okay. So as you can see, the onion is becoming translucent and soft. So after this, say about 3 minutes, and then we're going to add in our peppers. So let's add in our peppers. Okay. And give it another mix for about another 2 to 3 minutes. You want to cook this well too. So mix it up. So give it another 2 to 3 minutes. So while our ingredients are cooking, we are going to preheat the oven to 425 Fahrenheit. Okay, and we're going to preheat it because we're going to bake the first step. We're going to bake it until the potatoes are soft. So then we're going to put in the second step. So after 2 to 3 minutes of pan frying them, so what we're going to do is we're going to switch off the stove, and we're going to transfer this to a baking pan. So I've got a baking pan here. You can use a higher one. So I've used this baking pan, and what I've done is I've actually greased it with a little bit of oil. So what we're going to do is we're going to drop all our ingredients inside. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to flatten this up. Make sure that it's like this. You want to get it all over the pan. Okay, and the next step would be to put on potatoes. So let's get our potatoes. So here, before we put in the potatoes, I'm going to add in a little bit of cayenne. So you can even add the cayenne. So let's open this first. Let's see if I have an extra cayenne pepper. Nope, so I'm just gonna open this. So I'm using a McCormick brand cayenne pepper. You can use in any brand that you have. So okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to garnish it with a bit of cayenne pepper. Like I said, you can even add in while you're actually cooking. So kind of prefer to do it like this, as much as you want the spice. So cayenne. And then I'm going to add in garlic powder. Okay. And of course, salt and pepper. Okay, salt and a little bit of pepper. And while it's hot, we're going to mix it a little bit. Just give it a nice mix. Okay, so it gets everywhere. Okay, and then we're going to flatten it back again. Okay, and this is where we're going to be topping it with potatoes. So let's make sure we got all the potatoes everywhere. So how many potatoes is depending how much you would prefer. For me, I love my potatoes to be everywhere. So for me, potatoes is one of the most main ingredients in making this. But of course, it depends on how much you would prefer. So it's totally up to you. So as you can see, 5 was just nice. So, okay. And then here, I'm going to press this inside. Make sure it goes in. Okay. And I'm going to season this. So I'm going to season this again with a little bit of salt and pepper. Not too much because we already have a little bit at the bottom. Salt and pepper. Okay, and I'm going to top it up with a couple cubes of butter. So let's make sure we got a couple cubes of butter everywhere. Okay. Just make sure you got the butter everywhere. Okay, and now this is ready to go into the oven. So the oven has preheated. So right now we're going to add this ingredient into the oven and we're going to bake it for 20 minutes or until it's fork tender, which means that the potatoes, when you insert a fork in it, and it should be really soft. So roughly about 20-25 minutes. So we're going to add in for 20 minutes and then we're going to take it out and add in the rest of the ingredients. So after 20 minutes, our pan is out of the oven. As you can press and see, okay, so it's actually fork tender. When you press it in, it's soft. So this is good. So right now let's prepare the egg ingredients. So before that, let's preheat the oven back to 375 degrees as we want to lower the heat of the oven. So we're going to change it to 375 Fahrenheit, and then we're going to put in the eggs. So I've got my eggs here, which I've actually beaten, all 5 eggs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in a little bit of milk. So just a little bit to make it a little bit more creamy. And then we're going to beat this up. And then we're going to add in some Italian seasoning. You can add in any seasoning you want to. It's totally up to you. So I'm going to add in a mixture of Italian seasoning. Okay. And we're going to mix this again. Add a little bit more. Okay, and then we're going to mix this. And this is going to go into the pan. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add in the cheddar cheese first. So we're going to use all the cheese and I'm going to sprinkle it all over. This is actually just to hold the eggs in. So let's make sure we got all the cheese everywhere. Okay, so once we got everything inside, we're going to add in our eggs. So let's make sure we got all our eggs everywhere. You can add in extra if you want to, if you feel that you want to put in more eggs. Okay, so we're going to cover all the places where we missed out on the egg. Okay, so we're just going to level this a little bit just to make sure we've got all the eggs everywhere. Just level it like this. Yummy, so tasty. So right now this is going to go back into the oven for another 20 minutes or until the egg is set. Usually it's about 20-25 minutes, so let's do it 20 minutes at 375 degrees Fahrenheit. So my breakfast casserole is out of the oven. As you can see here, it's so yummy and it's loaded with all, and I've just taken it out just as the egg has set. I like mine half cooked. So if you like to, you can always add in a little bit of seasoning at the top. So I'm going to take in the Italian seasoning again, and we're just going to add a little bit at the top. Oh, where is it? Okay, so we're going to just add in a little bit, not too much, because you already have loads of it inside. So just at the top a little bit, and there we have it, your breakfast casserole. So this is my end result of my yummy breakfast casserole. It's loaded with so many stuff that you love. Also, please, you can always add in bacon or also scrambled sausages if you don't like the full ones. But trust me, any type of sausages or bacon will actually go well with this. As you can see here, it's so yummy. And you can put in any seasoning that you like to. It's always up to your preference. So please do try this. You must try it. And not only you can actually make this for breakfast, but lunch, dinner, it's super tasty. So do drop me a comment and let me know how it turns out. Thank you so much for taking your time to watch my video on how I made the breakfast casserole. So it's very tasty and you must try it for your family, and definitely they will love it. So if you like my video, please give me a thumbs up. Please share it in your social media and among your friends. And don't forget, if you're new to my channel, please check out my other videos and also this video, and please click the subscribe button that's below this video, and not forgetting the notification bell so you'll always be notified whenever a new video is uploaded on my YouTube channel, Hummingbird Mama. So thank you so much for your support, and take care and have a lovely day.